the first half of the year has been pretty awesome, but we want to look at it as the difference between the first quarter and the second quarter. Why was the first quarter so nice? This is the interactive portion. Why was the first quarter so good?
The chump tax cut?
That was last year.
Before was really bad.
Boom. It was a recovery from the fourth quarter that was awful, right? So second quarter is kind of more realistic for a quarter. And I'm assuming if we all took that 4-ish% growth in the second quarter in the S&P and we multiplied that times 4 quarters, we'd all be pretty happy with that for the year, right? 16%, it's a pretty good year in the S&P. Year to date, it's been a very good year. We don't know what the rest of the year, we'd like to close it for the year, that'd be awesome, but we don't get to do that. We got another 5.5 months to go through. So something really interesting about this last one is this Barclays US Ag, Q1, Q2. That is the best first and second quarters for the bond market since 1995. And now we can go forward and we'll see what happened. See the top blue line? That's the fourth, that decline from over 3% to 2% is the US benchmark bond 10-year, and that's the decline in the interest rate. And what happens when interest rates go down? Bond values go up. Rates go down, bond values go up. So we had a fantastic first half of the year because rates have plummeted. Now we're going to play a little game here. See this? This is Germany and Japan, and they dipped into negative territory in 2016, and now they're back strongly in negative territory, which means that if you lend money to Germany for 10 years, say $10,000, they'll give you back $9,700 at the end of those 10 years. That's negative interest rates. So what causes that? What is it that pushes rates down so far?
They're spending too much.
No one's going to try? Okay. So let's pretend for a second. We're going to pretend that, I figured this out earlier. I got to make sure I get this right. That Scott wants to borrow money. And everyone here says, we'll lend you money. We'll lend you money. We'll lend you money. How does Scott choose who to borrow from? Lowest rate. So there's an enormous amount of money that's looking for a safe place to go. There's an enormous amount of German money, enormous amount of Japanese money. And in the United States, in the fourth quarter of 2018, there was a lot of money looking for someplace safe to go. Because what was happening? Markets were cratering. Markets were down about 20% in the fourth quarter. And when that happens, you see a flight to safety. And so everyone put their money, took it out of stocks, and you can see this in the flows, take it out of stocks, and they bought bonds. What happened right after they did that? Stocks recovered. Right, this is a sort of a natural tendency. But now bond rates, you see how in the US, we went up, bond rates kind of ticked up, and now we've come all the way back down. And that gives us this. The blue line is a normal yield curve. The green, is that right? Green, brown, orange, depends on the angle you're sitting at. The dotted line. The dotted line is an inverted yield curve. So you've all read about an inverted yield curve. So what that means is long rates are lower than short rates. So you can, the federal government or any government will actually lend you money long for less, thank you, than they'll lend short. So they're paying more on the short end. Why does that happen?
No confidence in the future.
There's an expectation of a slowdown. So that's very clear in the bond market. And the inverted yield curve, the 10-year over the 2-year, if that's inverted, that's the thing that tells us that a recession is coming. What we have is we don't have that. We have a 10-year over a 6-month, a 10-year over a 3-month. We don't have a 10-year over a 2-year yet. So we've seen inversion, but not in the piece that actually is the part that scares us a little bit. And this yield curve is tortured because there's so much money being invested in that long end of the curve.